It's becoming more mainstream. Even in my generation, you know, when I got to college, there was already courses on the interface between Buddhism and psychology. When I was 18 years old, I read a book by Mark Epstein called Thoughts Without a Thinker. And you don't know how many times I've come across patients who say that was like the hottest thing that ever happened to them, that totally blew their mind, that book. It was like a revolutionary book. And Mark Epstein teaches here at Tibet House, and you know, there's growing numbers of people interested in the interface of Buddhism and psychology, and so I think, you know, this is a hot topic, and it's just blossoming. You know, people are receptive, and I think what happened in the early 70s and 80s was that we took meditation out of religion and out of Buddhism and out of yoga, and we started studying it, particularly a guy named Dr. Herbert Benson at Harvard Medical School. He kind of took the technique and left the philosophy out, and what he did was he taught patients how to meditate, and people with cardiac problems and heart disease and this and that, they started getting better, and hypertension and blood pressure, and suddenly we were open and receptive to it because we saw it as a technique that was secular. And what has happened 10, 15, 20 years later is that people started practicing that, but they sort of wanted a little more. It made them, the technique made them curious about the origins and the theory and the wisdom behind the meditation. And I think in the last 10 or 15 years, there's been a huge explosion of interest from the basis of meditation into the spiritual worldview of Buddhism or the Dharma. And I think that's only going to get more serious. Like, people don't just want to practice yoga and meditation independently anymore. They want to be happy. And so if you want to just go from being calm and fit to really being happy, you have to make that jump from just having a yoga practice and a meditation practice to understanding the philosophy and the psychology that underpins it. And I think that's exactly where we are right now. My colleagues and I at the Nalanda Institute for Contemplative Science, we are all trained physicians and psychologists, equally trained in the worldview and the psychologies of Buddhism, and we teach courses, public educational courses, that give people all the sustenance and the philosophy so that the practices that they're already doing are sort of supported and enhanced as they were traditionally meant. And so I think our numbers of our courses are growing. People are more interested. We don't just have psychologists and doctors who are interested, people from the public. We have artists. We have all kinds of people from all walks of life. You know, they've kind of done their yoga boom. You know, on every corner in Manhattan there is a yoga center where people can do all kinds of postures, but in a way that's just exercise. And it's the same for meditation. You can calm your mind down, and in a way it's just stress reduction. But from a Buddhist perspective and from a yogic perspective, yoga and meditation are for freedom. They are for ultimate happiness. And so what you have to do is you have to combine the practices, what are called the contemplative methods, with the wisdom and the philosophy underneath it. And then you get a complete system that delivers the real goal, which is real happiness. So I think that's where we are right now in you know, modern America. Through these dialogues and through more exposure, people are beginning to understand that what they're doing is just kind of, it's partial. And if they really want what I call the full Monte experience, they're going to have to let go of their aversion to this foreign religion and understand that it's just a comprehensive psychology there that can really take meditation to the next level.